We're live.
We're live in 3, 2, 1, and welcome to Raw Babes 101 with your host,
KK
and TT.
And we are comfy as fuck right now.
Yeah.
Sweaters.
Go to UCLA.
It's a big difference from the last time we recorded where it was summer and now we are fastly approaching winter.
It's fall. No, it's not fall. Is it fall?
It's fall.
So that was what I wanted to ask, actually. With our seasons, winter.
Don't ask me the dates.
Spring, summer, fall, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So you don't know when does like fall officially happen? When the leaves start falling?
You know what? Damn good question. I feel like it happened around Thanksgiving. That was October 13th.
And then it slides into...
Or 11th.
And then it slides into winter's DM.
Yep. It's like, holla,
And
bitches,
then
I'm here.
Then we go to spring.
Spring forward. Clocks go forward again. We got more daylight. Actually, today I woke up and it was like we all slept in.
Awesome.
Okay? Because we've just been getting the tired, and I feel like
You've been getting the tired?
We've been getting the tired. The tired. It's
What's
like
the tired?
The tired is when there's less daylight in the day, and I feel tired as shit, and nobody wants to get up.
Okay, well,
I feel like we're lacking vitamin D.
I didn't know that it was called the tired, because that's what's been the happening to me. Seriously, girl.
Well, I feel like this is a perfect segue to what I wanted to talk about, even though we are just kind of going with the flow right now. We have so much to catch up on, but yet something's been on my mind lately.
Do you want to share, TT?
I do.
First and foremost, can we just say hello to all of our listeners and viewers? You guys! It's been too long. Tear, heart. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy to be back holding this amazing large mic.
Mike's got her back.
Always. So happy to be with Tiffany. Like, this is a counseling session for us. I know this is a counseling and like a really awesome listen for you guys. And it's just so like the shit we take for granted. Like me with where I've been in the last little while and my life experience in the last bit. Like, I'm grateful. I'm humbled. I've had the carpet ripped out right underneath of me multiple times. And to be here again, it's just like, oh, what I took for granted. So I had to share that.
I think that's beautiful. And you know what? It's a really good reminder of how important it is to take a break from the mundane life, the day-to-day, the hustle.
100%. And
get into, like, we're always talking about healing and doing self-reflection work and self-care and self-love. And that all comes into it. And sometimes the universe has a way to go, sit the fuck down and really listen to what I have to say because you ain't listening. And I feel like that's probably a little bit of what happened to you. 100%. And I definitely had been forced to feel the feels. This has been a crazy last couple of months.
Yeah.
You know, like the life has the life.
I love it. It's the tired, the life, the moment.
Yeah, and it's never going to be awesome and fun and, you know, living the life and all that. Like, we actually have to feel the lows. Have to.
They serve their purpose. And like,
it really does.
It isn't something that you're ever ready for.
It's ever. Not.
You're never ready for it. And guess what? We're doing half of our lives avoiding it.
Yeah.
You know how many times I was avoiding and I just was like, it's fine. The universe is just going to sprinkle some sparkles on it for me. And it's basically like spiritual bypassing in a way, in the sense of, oh, you know what? I'm just going to sugarcoat it. Everything's going to work out. It's all good. Here's my sparkle fairy dust and Bob's your uncle.
Yeah.
No. You have to fucking deal with everything. Deal with your shadows.
Yeah.
Deal with the elephant in the room. You got to. It's not going anywhere.
It's so true, but it's like sometimes we don't even know that we're not listening or that we're not slowing down.
You got it.
I think it makes us uncomfortable when we sit in the unknown. And that's why during this fucking pandemic, I almost want to just be careful what I say, because everybody's getting fucked with and turned off and all that. And what we really stand for is just the freedom of voice, the freedom in choice,
yes.
with love and kindness. Like, yeah, I have the freedom to give my opinion, but is that kind?
Not always.
Not always.
Can be.
Yes. So that's where a lot of the stresses come from, and it weighs on our shoulders on top of what we have going on. And life has a way of, like I said, you know, the universe saying, guys, it's just time to sit down and chill and reflect in this area a little bit more rather than where you were.
Yeah.
Okay, so a couple weeks ago, my house caught on fire. Yeah, my house caught on fire. Yeah. And it was the most fucked up situation. So we've had an infrared sauna that has been used for years now. And the one time, the timer didn't go off. These infrared saunas have a timer. They only get so hot. Timer goes off, ding, it turns off. It didn't turn off.
That's crazy.
So we'd already just kind of went through insurance policy because of a major leak that happened in the kitchen that went down to the one spare room. And now we had to move everything from that spare room into this spare room. And the sauna doesn't turn off. And now everything in that room is destroyed. So we have had people coming in and out of my house consistently for the last month. I guess a little bit more than a month, because the leak started first, and now we got the fire that happened 2 weeks ago. Needless to say, we don't know why that happened spiritually, but it was definitely a rude awakening where it was like, okay, you need to be redirected, and you need to know that life isn't always full of gumballs and rainbows, because we always want to lead into the life of happiness, because if we had the choice, we wouldn't feel the lows. We wouldn't feel the lows, absolutely not.
Yeah.
But it's important to be down in the dumps.
Yeah.
I know I'm kind of going off on a tangent right now, but I want to know, why is it that it takes something so disturbing, so destructive, and really takes you off your path to really get you to wake up? Why? How do we get off the couch? How do we wake up? Really wake up. Yeah, you know what? There is a shit ton of you that don't want to know and don't want to learn and don't want to wake up and live your lives carefree, and that's totally fine. But please do not approach this topic with ignorance and say there's nothing to worry about, because for the matter of fact, there's a lot at stake at this point in time. And yeah, we're having a hard time getting off the couch. And I'm going to go through a list of things that is going to help you, that I'm obsessed with this topic. Oh.
Tiffany's phone wasn't on airplane, so I think we lost.
Dang it.
It's okay.
How far did we go? I was on a tangent.
It's okay. It's okay. So anyways.
Hold on. Continue.
We'll keep going. Side note, it was crazy because I drove by Tiffany's house when there was all these fire trucks. I actually didn't drive by her house. I'm lying. I drove by her street, and I looked out my window and I was like, thought of Tiffany. I was like, weird. There's a whole bunch of fire trucks there. And then I was like, oh my gosh. And then she ends up telling me it was her house. And intuitionally, I was like, I wonder if that's Tiffany's. I didn't reach out. I don't know why.
I know, because nobody thinks that
it's like, it's not going to happen to you. Like, your house isn't on fire. And if it was something, I would have heard about it.
So you think.
But I did, eventually. And it was hers. And anyways, I just wanted you to know I was there for you.
There really, honestly, was nothing that anybody could have done.
No.
We've had so much, like, love and support, and, like, people just, like, I haven't talked to ever, and they're like, God, if you need anything, please just
Mm-hmm.
ask. But you know what? It was nothing that insurance couldn't cover.
Yeah, it's all gonna
At
be
the end
okay.
of the day, after a scenario like that, all you can think is how grateful you are. Was it any worse? Because it totally could have been worse.
Dogs are safe. Your humans
Family
are
was
safe.
yeah, family safe. Everybody's
And
good.
stuff is just stuff, so it doesn't even matter.
Nope, doesn't even matter.
Oh, 111.
Oh,
look at that.
See,
Beautiful.
So being in that realm of things, yeah, it could have been worse. And hey, listen, guys, we never expected to have a house fire. Had we not had a sprinkler system in our home, we would have been screwed out, and we wouldn't have been able to put that fire out.
Well, and if anybody needs sprinklers in their house, you can call my dad, because that's what my dad does. And your guys do it as well, don't you?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm so grateful that we actually have the connections that we have, because the process has kind of gone through quite smoothly.
Yeah.
But if you have the right things in place and you work in as a village, because we're in the industry, we have relationships with people that are friends, and
That's right.
it's like, no, like whatever we need to do to get this off your plate as far as stress goes, because my household, we're on a mission.
Yeah.
We're on a mission of we're developing culture. We are creating jobs. We are, Kristen and I are devoted to the message that we're putting out there, and to this podcast, and ourselves and the work that we put out there to deal with that kind of stuff. Hey, obviously you got to deal with what's in front of you, but trust me, it's never anything you can't handle.
Ever. And you're never going to be given anything that you can't handle. And at the time when you're in it, I'll tell you, there were times where I felt like I was dying. I was like, I'm dying. And I think this is just, I don't know how I can handle anything more. And then you do. And then life shows you, well, here's a little bit more. And then you handle that. So I think the big takeaway in all of this is, we're always going to be okay. You are always going to go through a low, and the carpet is going to get ripped out from under you. But part of Tiffany and I's message today is, what can we do we won't be able to eliminate that from happening, but to just be a little bit more present before it gets to that extreme. The extreme where we're blinded, where we're not actually acknowledging our feelings, or what's hurting us, or the uncomfortable relationships, or the abuse, or dealing with our problems. Because when we don't deal with our problems, they stack up and they get higher and higher and higher. And then that's when those moments happen of the carpet being ripped out from under you, because we're just putting a pretty bow on it saying, oh, everything's fine, but it's not. So we wanted to talk about this sort of thing about, hey, let's not get to that stage, and why is it so hard to deal with reality and speak up for yourself and speak your truth. And a lot of the times it's fear. Yeah. Fear for me has been pretty much the number one thing that stopped me from doing so many things to evolve is fear. I was like, can't go there. I'm just going to stop and I'm going to stay right here. And I'll tell you, once you actually face that fear, your worst fear of your entire life that you would never want to have to deal with, you deal with it head on, you overcome it, and it's done. It's gone. You're like, it's liberating, and it feels incredible because you can look back and go, holy shit. Like, I just dealt with that. I just did that. And you're going to be able to face the next thing, but then you're going to be able to share your story to help so many other people deal with what they're going through, which feels like their rock bottom or their worst fear or something that they could never imagine going through. I actually have to share this. I was watching a program and there was this woman and she was sharing her story. She was shot 9 times by her husband, and her husband then killed her children in front of her and then took his own life. And she lived through all of that.
Holy fuck.
And then I just had this aha moment, like, you know what, Kristen? Come on. Really? What in life like what that woman had to experience and to overcome and to still be living. She ended up having a beautiful story afterwards, but she's forever going to be grieving the pain and the loss of her children that they aren't here. But it goes back to choices, and it goes back to my belief and the spiritual realm of things. She chose so many of these heartaches and these roadblocks and this pain and suffering to then overcome it and to experience that in this lifetime. So I believe we are here to experience. We are here to experience the good and the bad, and nothing is right or wrong, and nothing is really good or bad into the sense of like, yes, in hindsight, being murdered or something like that is terrible, that's bad, but in the end, she's experiencing a whole lot, and now she's able to help others, and she has a new life, and it's beautiful. But when she was going through it, she just wanted to die and didn't think she could ever go through that.
There is a light at the end of the tunnel, it is really important.
That's
that
perfect.
I think the biggest message. You said the biggest message earlier, but here's another.
No,
message.
we have all of this is a big message.
Is to make sure that we see the light during the dark.
Yeah,
that it's not always just darkness. There is light,
100%
waiting to be seen and discovered through the line of darkness.
Yes.
Excuse me. I want to really emphasize leaning into the act of taking action rather than just thinking about it, sitting with negative thoughts. Right now we're leaning into darker days, not as much sun.
Yeah.
So we're not getting the vitamins that we would normally get from the sun right now.
Yeah.
And this can be a huge contribution to the blues during this time
Seasonal
of the year.
Affective disorders, sad.
100%.
Yeah.
There are key things that we can follow and pillars of health that Kristen and I are huge advocates for. We've not only seen it, the difference happen in ourselves, but we've seen it with people around us, and everybody that we know and follow and take information from and read about all say the same thing.
Same thing, guys.
Same things, guys. So I just want to read something that I pulled up. I wanted to type in something very specific, and it was almost like a segue to what we're talking about. But why is it so hard to get off the couch? Okay? This is a very common condition, is named ego depletion in philosophy. That would probably be my daughter.
Do you have an answer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Put her on speaker.
Okay.
Hi, daughter.
Hello.
Hi.
You're on speakerphone right now, right in the middle of the show of Raw Babes of 101.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Say hi.
Hi. The door is locked.
So come around the back, hun, left side, and then you just push there's a button on the gate.
Yeah, I saw that. It's not opening.
Yeah, you push the button and you push the
the door
other
out.
side of the
Oh,
gate.
okay.
Awesome.
Okay,
We'll see
bye.
you soon. Bye.
Okay, bye.
She's so cute.
That was just the cutest
She
thing
is so
ever.
cute.
Okay, so ego depletion in psychology means that we have a limited resource of willpower. I will read this again, but I want you to imagine and really put this together. Really listen to the words that I'm saying. Okay. Having a limited resource of willpower wears out every time we use it, which means that includes resisting temptations, fighting desires, controlling impulses and behaviors, and compelling to society rules. So it's like, how many people do not want to get on the bandwagon to getting their exercise or eating healthy? Well, there's lots of other contributions to why you don't want to do that, but it's most likely because you've put up resistance between you and that thing before, and you don't want to fucking do it again. You don't have it in you. Speaking of which, by the end of what I read here, and compelling to society rules, guys, we're still in a pandemic, And it's not a COVID pandemic. It's a social pandemic. And socially, we are being introverted into our homes and feeling depressed and getting too much into our heads and depression. All we're doing is watching things on TV. We're playing video games, and we're doing things that do not serve us just to make time pass by.
Yeah.
We're not diving deep into the rest of the part of the brain that that they say we don't use, but it's there. How are we not using it?
Yeah.
We're just so tapped into the surface fluff shit by ignoring these triggers, ignoring, these dialogues that you're having with yourself, that you're not good enough. Life's too hard. What am I doing here? I mean, I just came out of this myself, and I was like, whoa, I'm feeling the feels. Like, this is dark shit.
Yeah.
Had I not done the work that I had done before
continue.
my house fire, my house fire would have probably dropped me, and I probably would have been sitting there in tears and going, oh, why me?
Yeah.
But because I've been doing the work, it actually made that scenario a little bit easier. So the message that I'm trying to say right now is, feel the feels, be in the dark.
Lean into it too.
If you're not feeling the low end of things, you're never going to know the difference and what it feels like to get out. And just know for now, at this moment in time, that is really important to know the difference, and that you do not have to think this isn't the only way. If you're in those feels and you're kind of like having a hard time getting out, just know it's all in perspective. But definitely it helps when you take your vitamin D.
Yeah, and also...
What else do we take for in your B complex?
B12.
Kristen, you're really good at this.
Yeah, B12, I love Vimergy brand. You can get it online. They're so clean. There's no additives in it. They use like tinctures with apple juice, glycerin. There's no citric acid or natural flavors in it. They have all types of, different types, like your vitamin C, zinc, B12, vitamin D. So what I wanted to also recommend is something called Sad Light. I'm sure people have seen these before. They're incredible. It's basically mimics like what the sunshine is doing, like when the sun rises and then the sun sets.
It's great for the circadian.
Don't even know.
Why
did you try? Just kidding. It's good to try. Always try.
The natural rhythm of getting up when the sun gets up and then falling asleep and getting tired at the end of the day when the sun goes down.
Totally. So a good tip is this. It happened to me this morning. I messaged Tiff. I wasn't feeling that great. I've had a headache the last couple of days. It usually happens around the cycle. And so I was like, I wanted to stay in bed. And when you said that, what did you call it again? It was
the sadness.
No, about you were saying it about your family, about people wanting to sleep in, and I was like, I love that. It happened to me in time. No. Anyways, doesn't matter.
Okay.
You said it on the podcast already.
Okay.
But it happened to me, and I messaged her, and I was like, I'm just feeling like I've got a headache, and she's like, how is things with you? And that could have been my little ticket out. That was my choice of like, she opened the window of, hey, how are you? For me to say, I've got a headache, blah, blah, blah. But then I was like, you know how good this is going to feel to do this? And I'm going to feel better by then. And I told myself, so getting off the couch and motivating yourself is just in that moment. Do not worry about the future and don't worry about the past. Because both of those don't exist. What are you doing today right now? So get up, do it anyways, even when you don't want to do it. Take your vitamins, took my celery juice, took my carrot juice, got myself ready, and I'm here. And I feel like $1 million.
Well, this has a huge to do though with you understanding what the difference feels like when you do those things
versus
consistently.
Not.
Versus not. So you know what not feeling good feels like.
100%.
But if our listeners, any of our listeners are listening and you don't know the difference, well, I'm sorry, that the thing that I read here, the limited resource of willpower, it's going to consume you, and then you're never going to do anything.
So circle jerk back to the circle jerk of telling yourself why you need to stay stuck. And it's that fear and that uncomfortability, because what fear really is uncomfortability within the body. So it's your body's way of keeping you saying, stay here. This is what we know, Kristen. If you go over there, it's the unknown. And the unknown could be anything. It could be a miracle. It could be incredible. But we don't know that. So, Kristen, stay over here because this is what we know. Absolutely not. That is old programming. Freaking just cut it off. And how you do that, another beautiful thing is the 5-second rule.
Yes.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get up.
That's right.
Wake up.
Mm-hmm.
You have one life to live. Let's do this.
I think if we how do we prioritize what's meaningful to us? Like, what is it that means more to you to make yourself feel, or whatever it is? And okay, so say I just said it, like maybe it's like to feel good. I hear lots of people say, I should work out. I should eat better.
I love it when you change your voice.
But if that, okay, so then maybe that is your priority then, the things that you're saying you should be doing. Well, why aren't you doing them? Most likely because you got some fear stuck in front of it, or some wide range of excuses that like everybody's probably heard a time or two.
The victim mentality, the poor
honestly.
Me, I'm not good enough to look and feel amazing. Yeah, you are.
We kind of need to own that dialogue and know that that's total horseshit. If you're saying it to yourself, it's not true.
It's not true.
It's like a sad the little person in you, that scared little ego that's just keeping you safe from trying new things.
Question. What are you staying safe from? What are you staying safe from? Being fabulous, shining a bright light, and speaking your truth, and feeling fabulous? Like, ask yourself that question. Write it down.
Well, yeah.
What are you staying safe from?
Me, I guess I would be staying safe if this is something I have had to work through before.
Yeah,
so this is my answer. I didn't want to be disappointed in myself again, so I didn't want to try.
So if you just stayed the same, you didn't have the opportunity to potentially succeed, but you were just like, I'm just going to set myself up for disappointment, and then I'm going to be disappointed in myself again, and that's a crazy story.
And then
that's a whole lot of story.
I never did anything.
And that's a whole lot of no movement.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah. That's really hard, and that's...
Well, thanks for verifying that for me, Kristen.
It's my pleasure, TT.
Well, I tell you, for change, I put this on my personal Instagram story today. I know this is not the same day by the time you hear this, but I did talk about this, about I was tired of being sick and tired before my fitness journey, and no one was going to fucking hold my hand. Nobody was
coming to save you, girl.
No one's saving me. No one was going, hey, you're looking a little chunky these days. Hey, you're looking a little depressed these days. Maybe you should do a workout in your kitchen. Fuck no. I literally had nothing. I didn't even have like proper workout gear, which I think everybody needs to invest in, because there's nothing better than working out and like feeling like you look good. Yeah. And you're comfortable too. But my workout started with a chair in my kitchen, and I would just follow a YouTube video.
Awesome.
That's it. And that's how it started. Okay. Like, it was crazy.
Awesome.
And so when I hear the excuses, I'm kind of going, okay, guys, this is in your head, and you have the choice to change your perspective, because it really isn't that hard. The only thing that's in your way is you. Get
out of your own way.
You're the only
100%.
one. Ouch, that's a stinger,
isn't it?
It is
a stinger, and it's like, you're the only one that's in your head. You're the only one that keeps telling you all the reasons why you can't do something, but you really can do it, I promise.
Yes, and it's just one step at a time. One step at a time. I love seeing people talk about, okay, if you're procrastinating working out, what's the one, like, what are the things that could help you get to that place of like actually moving your body? Well, one starts with putting your workout clothes on. Second one, put your shoes on. Oh shit, shoes are on.
Step outside.
No, now I just went out my front door. Oh shit, okay, I'm getting in the car. If you're not working out at home, you're driving to the gym. Now you're sitting in front of the gym. Now what? Well, you may as well go inside.
Yeah.
If you're working out at home, starts with your shoes. Get your water bottle.
Put on music. Music
Put on music.
really alters.
Put on that workout. Press play. Fucking stand there if you want. Just watch it.
Put one foot in.
Most likely you're gonna do it.
1 foot up.
Yeah.
And, you know, another thing is just move your body. Get that energy flowing. Like, if you're stuck sitting on the couch and you don't even, let's just say you're not even going to go to the gym, you're not going to put on a workout. Throw the music on and start moving your body. And the next thing you know, like, things are shifting. You're just like, oh, I'm feeling a little bit better.
Yeah.
Like, I've done that all the time. Or I've been in bed, I throw on a song that I absolutely love. And then I'm up and my day is just starting to happen.
I love talking to people who thrive off of dancing.
Oh,
You're one of them. I have a handful of you guys, more than a handful of you guys, that are just like,
Love to dance.
that's what motivates you. And goddamn, I mean, had I was enlightened as much with it as you are, I think that would make things a hell lot easier. But I do definitely thrive off of, like, music has a way of just touching your heart, your soul.
Yeah.
There's scientific stats show that your brain activates completely different than from not listening to music to listening to music.
Yeah. Music, like, speaks to me.
Ex-
I listen to the
Right?
words in the song, and you know, if I'm listening to a song, it's going to be touching my soul for something. Something that artist said or did, and it's also the beat. Oh, the beat, it like captivates me. I get like shivers, and I'm just like cranking it in the car, and I'm singing in the house. And
Now your mood's changed.
yes.
Now you're elevated.
Whatever you can do to alter your state is important. That could be laughter, that could be a friend. Always reach out to somebody. Like,
we get these stuck things. We get so stuck in
on the
these
damn couch.
ways that we're like not doing anything. And why are you waiting for more sickness and injury to happen before you do anything?
Okay.
It's like hearing someone, say, when I retire, I'm going to do all the traveling in the world.
I travel now.
What
like,
the
do
hell?
It now. What
Well-
if you don't even? Well, not now, but you know what I'm saying, right?
Yes.
I love that.
Like,
Because
why are you waiting?
Don't wait for life. Don't wait to be. It's like all of a sudden you're like, shit. You're on the other side. You're looking back at your body, and you're like, dang it.
I know.
All that stuff just passed by.
and I
and
haven't done anything.
And I wasted all my time on things that didn't matter. Remember what I've said before. If it's not going to bother you in a year, do not spend more than 1 minute on it. That's it.
I posted it I'm promoting my boot camp stuff today, and I put it on my my Instagram. Thank you, my love.
This is bugging me. There we go.
And part of the write-up, like what I said, was like, hey, take some action now, because a year's gonna go by and you're gonna look back and you're gonna go, holy shit, I fucking did that. Okay,
Yeah.
well, if we're gonna sacrifice, let's talk about sacrifice. I don't know, this might be
Yeah.
ready for a whole nother episode, but
Yes. We're at 33:24.
okay. So basically, let's just focus on one step at a time. Sacrificing at that point is just, it could be a negotiable, because you might be working a heavy, 10-hour day, 5 days a week right now, and you're having a hard time finding that extra time for yourself. I mean, hey, I'm not saying go out and do your exercise, but I am going to say take 5 in a quiet place and just recollect yourself, let go, and imagine the energy that you've been sharing with everybody away from you, because it's not yours.
Yeah.
And get yourself back in alignment for the next
yourself.
day.
Yeah.
That is a huge part of self-care, and it's as easy as that. I mean, stepping into exercise, yeah, that's easy for us to say, because like now it's part of our routine. And not to say we don't fall off the bandwagon once in a while, because it's fine to do that. I just took a week off.
I
from
just took a
working out.
week off too.
Yeah.
Full week.
I'm okay with that.
And actually, we should touch on this. Sometimes your routine can be a distraction for what you're avoiding.
Is that true?
It's so true.
Ain't that the truth?
And I had to take this week. I've had a lot of changes happen in my life, and I've had a lot of changes happen even with the schedule with my son. So it's been quite the redirection for me, and it's been a redirection back to myself again. Instead of looking for a way to distract, gym is a wonderful thing, but it also can be a distraction. And making yourself so busy, going with your friends, clients, podcast stuff, all that. I just took the week to feel what does it feel like to be alone? What does it feel like to be uncertain? What does it feel like to be uncomfortable? And surrender to that moment. And that's exactly what I've done.
I love
it.
surrendering, because I had to do that even recently, and like in my mindset, I was just like I mentioned earlier, I was definitely exhausted, and I hit my own low. Like,
yes,
I have not hit a low like that in a while, and I made sure I was really quiet with myself.
Yeah.
But not just in my head, like talking shit to myself. No, I was like, I fucking surrender. Like, I am not gonna try and control this any longer.
No.
And I think that's probably what got me to that space to begin with, because I was trying to take so much control, things I had no control of, and I was pissed off with the outcome.
Yeah.
Because I was impatient and I was not trusting the process.
Yeah.
So it put me in that moment of like
dis-ease, actually.
Yeah,
and
scarcity,
in the body.
fear, insecurities, all the things that came up, for me, were things that were like, okay, I guess I need to work on this.
Totally.
I gotta feel it.
This is just another layer deeper,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just another situation that arises for you to see it with love and compassion, and don't be hard on yourself.
Right when you think you have all figured out,
not even a chance.
all these things come up. You're like,
it's
I'm
the
not
journey.
all the things.
Yeah, and it's the journey. There's no destination. There's no stop. We're not going to just say, oh, we've evolved. We're these great beings. Yeah, we are all great beings, and yeah, we are all going through experiences, but it doesn't end and it doesn't stop, and it's how we deal with them. How do you show up for
How are
yourself?
we showing up?
How are you showing up for yourself? And taking that break and taking that week to just chill was the number one best thing that I could have done for myself, because avoidance is just another opportunity to then have another rock bottom moment.
100%.
And our routine, like we had said, can be a distraction. So instead of being hard on myself as like, well, I should be at the gym right now. I should be doing this. I should be getting prepared for this. I surrendered. And I'm like, who is in charge of me? Who is telling me to do this? Who is the one that's like, if I don't do this, then I won't get that? No, I don't have to do shit. I can just sit, surrender, and be here and be present. That's all that you need to do.
That's right. You don't have to do shit.
No.
You
Who's
don't have
telling
to...
you? So it's the mind and that monkey brain that is telling you what you need to do in order to feel a type of way, and that's the one that you quiet and say, you know what? No, I don't have to.
Computer says
no. But yeah, quick little tip. We're gonna keep this episode short.
Yeah. That was the goal.
We have so much to talk about and to share, obviously, and we love everybody, and thank you for your patience. There was a lot of big life stuff happening that just put this episode, or put Raw Babes on pause, and that's what you do in life. You have to deal with
totally cool
the things that come up.
And there is no, like you said earlier, there's no right or wrong way. We're just kind of going with the flow.
And what feels right.
Yeah, what feels right, and we write the rules. Nobody said we had to do our podcast a certain way. We're doing it our way.
Life is a highway. I want to ride it all night long. Woo! So yeah, quick takeaway.
Yeah.
I think worry about today in the hour. What can you do in the hour to just make yourself feel a tad bit better? That would be getting out of bed. That could be throwing on a meditation.
And you
brushing
deserve
your
it.
teeth. You deserve it.
By the way, you deserve all the beautiful things.
100%.
Stop
You deserve
telling
to feel
yourself.
better.
It's like, fuck And
Yeah.
such a lie.
It's a lie.
We're all light beings.
Mhm.
We deserve happiness no matter what situation we're in.
As you heal yourself, you heal the collective. Just showing up, that is enough. Your purpose even may just be to send a nice positive message to somebody else. Your purpose is giving your child a hug. Your purpose is just feeling better in this moment. Just stay present. It will get better, I promise.
Or get present.
And get present.
Sometimes it's hard to stay present, but
It is, but it's practice.
That's
all
practice.
we have to. A quote is, "The best way to create a better future is to do your best at this very moment."
Ooh. I love also, it's a lot of pressure, but we can always be better today than yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Are you gonna pull a card?
Oh my gosh! Of course I'm going to pull a beautiful card for our beautiful collective audience that we love so much. And love, 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 love. Wow. Back to the goods.
Back to the
Exciting.
goods. Let it.
Not that these cards have ever stopped. They have been with me on my journey every step of the way.
Yeah.
Okay, team, show us what is the message for the collective for whoever's watching this, and whenever you watch this, this is meant for you. It's a message for you.
Two.
Oh, it's two.
It's two.
I think it's two. Okay. Oh, of course. I've pulled this card 3 dang times.
Really?
Ready? Min taken. I think I botched that. That's okay. Longing for home. Belonging. The original light workers. So the Mintakens, their planet, where their home was, they say it was just surrounded by water, and it doesn't exist anymore. So that's why there's always this longing for home. So if you listening and watching are longing for like, oh, I just never feel like I'm at home, and like nothing ever really feels like it's like my place to be, just remember your home is inside of yourself. And it doesn't matter where you are, you're home. So it's really important to focus on your inside and grounding your energy within the home that you live in, and that is the shell, and that is our external. So just know that your soul is inside of this beautiful shell, and that is home. So you don't really need to be anywhere else, just as long as you're home.
That's beautiful. I love that.
Next one, go ahead, T.
Keepers of the earth. You are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you.
Beautiful.
So again, surrendering in this situation you're in, your guides, your peeps that you can't see.
They're there.
But trust and have some faith in the fact that their energy is guiding you in the right direction. You're never going to hear this when you're in distress or when you have chosen stress in your life. If you're constantly fighting with someone, you have drama going around, you're not getting grounded, you're never going to see the signs and synchronicities of your ancestors, because they're basically your guides also. We have all sorts of guides, but our ancestors are the ones that have really committed their lifetime to their ancestors. So they're always with us, and we need to honor that, and we need to give thanks and gratitude to them, because they lived a life they worked so hard just to be present in the way that they know, and they are fighting a lot harder now than they were before. So honor that.
And let's honor the fact of how hard they fought for our freedom and our rights, and why we're standing here, and why we're in this position of life where we have our freedoms being taken, possibly, if we don't stand up and speak our truth. So just know that people before us fought really hard for this freedom, and for us to choose what we do to ourselves and put in our bodies. So just remember, if something doesn't feel right, to honor yourself and stand up for yourself.
Don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid.
What are you afraid of? You don't know what you're afraid of. Just take a stand.
You'll be surprised how many people probably think the same way
And
you
feel
do.
the same way.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to stick together and not be divided. This isn't about taking this or not taking this. It's way deeper than this, you guys. It's about being united, being a team, standing together as a collective, and just honoring that everyone's different and unique in their own way, and that's beautiful exactly as it is. So
Ain't that the truth?
yeah, let's not fight about things. Let's come together and acknowledge that what's most important is our freedom.
100%.
That's it. Claim your
100%,
power
guys.
back.
Come on. Let's wake up. Come on. Let's go. Let's go.
Wake up. Energy sent. We love you so much. And thank you for tuning in to Raw Babes 101.
Thank you so much, you guys. I'm so happy to be back.
We're back.